Do you want to learn how you can add components to your app which allow your users to update records to your database and files to your S3 storage? In this video, that is exactly what I'm going to teach you how to do. Hi guys, my name is Sam with Complete Coding, where our aim is to make you into the best developer that you can be. In this video, we're going to be looking at how we can implement an upload feature to an existing music app so that our users can add new songs to the system. We're going to use the existing Amplify API to add our data to our database, and we're going to use the S3 storage class on Amplify to upload our audio into S3. So now what we're going to do is jump into the code and see how we can do all of this. Now we're in the code, the first thing that we want to do is to add a new component to our app that allows us to add a new song. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down to our return function, and in here we have each of the songs being mapped over, and after this what we're going to do is we're going to add a new component. This component is going to be an add song component, but it's going to be conditionally rendered only if we've hit that plus button. So the parameter we're going to be toggling is show add song, and if that is true, then we're going to render a component of add song. And at the moment we're not going to have any parameters for it. If show add song is false, we're going to show an icon button, and that icon button is going to be an add icon like that. So add icon, if we scroll all the way to the top, needs to be imported from the icons system. So import add icon from at material UI icons / add. And if you want to check where I've got these from, if you go into a browser and you can go to materialui.com /components /material icons, and in here if you search for add, you can then see that there is an add button. Clicking on that gives you that import. So back in our code, now that we have the add icon and we have the add song, we need to create this add song component. So if we go right the way to the bottom of our code and we create a new function called const add song. At the moment this takes no parameters, and in here what we're going to do is we're going to return some input text fields for us to add new values to this app. So first we're going to return, and we're going to wrap this in normal braces so that we can turn across multiple lines. We're going to start with a div, and I'm going to call this new song. Inside this new song, I'm going to create a text field, just like that. And we're going to render it like that. And this has a property on it of label. And the label in this case is going to be title, as we want to ask the customer for the title of the new song. I'm going to copy these 3 lines and paste it twice more, changing this to artist and finally description. If I now save this, we need to now add the toggling of this show add song. So if I copy that, we need to scroll right the way back up to the very top of our app component and add a new state. So const show add new song, set show add new song equals use state, and the state we're going to be using is a Boolean of true or false. In our case, we don't want to show it straight away, so we're going to go with false. If we now click this, copy this set show add new song and go back to our main render, if someone clicks on this icon button, we want to show the add song. So on click, we want to call this, and we want to call the set show new song with true. So now that we can toggle it on, we need a way to toggle it off. The way we're going to do that is add a new parameter to our add song, and that is going to be on upload. And in this case, that is going to pass in a function. And in that function, when it gets called, we are going to call our set show add new song and set that to false. As well as that, because this has been uploaded, hence the on upload, we want to hit our database again and get back the data for all of our songs. The way that we do that is with fetch songs. So this is going to close the data that the user has entered and then fetch the latest song. Now that we have this, we just need to add this on upload to our add song component as a prop. So in here, we want to call the on upload function only when we have clicked a upload button. So we're going to add a new button, and that is going to be an icon button like that. And inside this icon button, what we're going to do is we're going to include a publish icon, just like that. And to get this publish icon, if you go to your browser and in this material icons, search for publish, you can just copy that import, scroll to the very top of our file, and add that to our imports. Now that we have this button, we want to call an onClick method. And in this case, we're going to, anytime they call onClick, we're going to call a new function, upload song, and this function takes no parameters. And at the moment, all this is going to do is call on upload like that. And now we can pass upload song into onClick. I've done it this way round because in a second we're going to be adding extra logic into here to upload the song, before calling this function. If we save all of this, we now have everything we need. We have our show add song, and we have something turning it off and something turning it on. In our terminal, if we run npm start, this will start up our app and we'll be able to toggle open and closed our new add song component. So if we go to localhost 3000, so as you can see, I've actually forgot to import the text field. So if I go back into our code and find text field, and then go all the way to our top of our app, to our imports. And here, where we're importing paper and icon button from the material UI core, we can also import text field. If I save that, we can now go into our app. So now that we're on our app, we need to log in. So I'm just going to paste my details in and then log in. So now I'm going to sign in, and inside the app we have the 2 songs we uploaded in the previous videos, but we also have this plus button. And if I click on this plus button, we then get a title, artist and description, as well as an upload icon. So this is our new component. If I hit that upload button, it goes back to just showing a plus button. That is great, but now we actually want to add some extra logic to that section so that we are going to store and then upload our song to our system. So back in our code, if we go all the way down to our add song component, we're going to have to add some state to this component. The first bit of state that we need is the song data. So const song data set song data equals use state, and we want to have the whole object being the song data, so we're going to start with an empty object. So now that we have this, what we can do is we can update our text fields a little bit. So in here, we can set a value, and the value is going to be song data dot title, and then we also want to add an on change, which again is going to be a function, and that is going to take an event, and then we want to set the song data, and we're going to be passing in an object, and that object is going to be a spread of the original song data, but with the title set to be e.target.value. So if I save that, we now have a controlled component because we're giving it its value, and anytime it changes, we're storing that changed value in our song data. What I'm actually going to do is copy these 2 lines and paste them into the artist section and into the description section, but then just change the artist one to songdata.owner, and onChange is going to change the owner, and for description I am going to change this to description, as well as a set song data to description. One extra thing we can do now is in our upload song, we can console.log song data. I'm going to add that as a string just before as well, like that. So if we go into our app again, hit plus, open up our terminal. In here, I'm going to enter a title of new song, artist of Sam, and a description of test song. And if we hit this upload button, we can now see we have a title, owner, and description as we'd expect. So the next thing that we want to do is add the ability to upload an MP3 file. So the way that we do that is after our text fields, we add a new input, and this is going to be a normal input with a type of file, and it's going to accept, delete that comma, and that is going to be audio/MP3, as that is the file type we want to accept. And then we want to say there is an on change, and the on change for a file upload takes an event, and then we want to set MP3 data to e.target.files and file 0. So now we actually need to make this set MP3 data function, which is going to be another state field inside add song. So const MP3 data set MP3 data equals use state, and the default state we're going to use for that is nothing. So now we have the ability to upload an MP3 file. So I just need to close off this input and save this. And if we go into our code, hit plus, we have a title, artist description, and the ability to choose a new file. With this new file, we can then start adding some of the logic we need into this upload song section. So to upload something to S3 using Amplify, it's relatively simple. We need to say const curly braces key, as this returns the key of the file, equals await. And because we're awaiting this, we need to change this upload song into an async function. Storage.put, and if you're doing a storage.put, you need to pass up a file name, the data, and then some content information. Because customers might upload a song with the same file name, we don't want to set it as the file name, as then one would overwrite the other. To get around that, I'm going to use the UUID tool again, which generates a random digit string. So UUID, normal braces, which will generate our string, and then it's going to be .mp3. That is our file name. The data is going to be mp3 data, and finally we have an object, and that object has a content type of audio/mp3. So now we have that, we can save that and add the next bit of logic. So now that we have the key, we can create the record we're going to put into Dynamo. So const create song input is going to be an object. This needs to have an ID, and the ID for this is going to be UUID. It needs the title, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to structure these off our song data. So const title equals song data. So now we have the title. We also get the description, and we can also destructure that, as well as the owner of the song data. So the owner is the next property we're going to put on. As well as that, we also need the file path, and in our case that is just the key. Finally, the last thing we need is the number of likes, and we're going to set that to 0. And if you're wondering how we're getting all of this, if you go into GraphQL and into mutations, we actually have the create song record, and it tells you you need an ID, title, description, file path, like, and owner. The created at and the updated at are automatically generated for you by the Amplify system and GraphQL. So these are the properties that we need to put in. Now that we have our input, we need to actually upload that. So we can do that by saying await API.GraphQL, and this takes a GraphQL operation. If we scroll back up to our fetch songs, we can see, or update song even, that we need to take the GraphQL operation, a type of operation, and then an input. So back in our upload, we can find this GraphQL operation, and that needs to take a parameter of the query and then the variables. The query we need, if we go into mutations, is this create song mutation, and we know that it takes an input, and that input is our create song input. The last thing we need to do is copy this create song mutation and import that. So if we go right the way to the top of our code, and if we look for our update song, that is being imported from GraphQL./mutations. So we can also import create song. If we save all of that, it's now saying that we need to import UUID. So if we open up a new terminal, and in here run npm install --save UUID, that is going to install the UUID npm package. And then in our code, we're going to say import curly braces v4 as UUID from UUID. So what this is doing is UUID has a couple of different versions. We're saying import version 4, but call it UUID. This means that we can then use it down in our code, both here, and that will all work. So if we go back into our first of our terminals, save our file, that error should now go away as we've imported it. That is great. So we can now go into our app. We can hit plus a title for our new song. We can put that in here. So new song. Artist is still going to be me. Description is going to be a test song upload. And now in here, when we click choose file, it will open up our normal file browser. I've got another free song here, a non-copyright song. If I hit open on that, you can see that that is the song selected. If I hit upload, it's going to take a little while to upload that to S3. And there we go. So it has uploaded the file, added that new record to Dynamo, and then using our fetch songs, it has got back our song again. That is exactly what we expect to happen. So now if we go and hit play, we can hear that our new song is playing, which has just been uploaded by our users. In this video, we have looked at how we can upload content to our existing systems. We created a new component that allows our customers to upload a new song. Once the customer has uploaded their song, we use the Amplify storage methods to upload that to our S3 bucket. Once that has happened, we create a new record in our database using our Amplify API, which we can then use to get that song back down and show it as one of the songs on our system. If you've learned something new in this video, it'd really help me out if you smash that like button, as it helps the YouTube algorithm suggest this video to more developers just like yourselves. And if you haven't done already, make sure to subscribe down here, as I release weekly content on serverless and AWS. So hopefully I'll see you in that next video.